We interrupt this program with an important message from the General Office of the National Association of Douchebags. So I lost all the data, all the videos of that I've taken so far because my stupid external hard drive decided to die on me, and it wouldn't respond with my computer or something. Blah blah blah. The partition wouldn't read, and I tried a bunch of things on the internet, and nothing worked. So I think it's just done. It's just dead, and it sucks because it's not even a year old. So I have to get a new external hard drive, and that external hard drive had all my gameplay videos on it, because if anyone's captured gameplay videos before, you know that capturing hours of video takes a lot of fucking space. It takes gigabytes upon gigabytes of space. And that was a 2 terabyte hard drive that now is dead, along with all my gameplay videos, along with all my music. Thankfully I salvaged all my Radiohead tracks. That's all I'll need to survive for the next year at least. So yeah, all my stuff is lost. So now that means I have to play through Final Fantasy XIII a fucking third time. I can't. I just can't. For you guys, you freaking you fans out there, I don't even have any fans yet. I'm just a little speck on the internet. So why am I doing this for you guys? I have to play through Final Fantasy XIII a third time. This is not good for my health. This is not good for my mental sanity. This is not good for anything. I might die if I play through this game again. I mean, granted, it is better than if I played through Bayonetta a second time. Because I just was not going to do that. Well, I did play through Bayonetta twice, but on the lowest difficulty. If I played through Bayonetta on the normal difficulty, I would probably have already killed myself. But this is not something I can really take, especially since in my last data I maxed out all my fucking characters. Now I have to play through it a third time? Are you serious? Why? Stupid external hard drive. Why now? Why couldn't you wait until I did a different game and posted all these fucking videos on YouTube? Thankfully, all these enemies are so easy to get by. Like, I don't even have to try. I'm just speeding through this game right now. And I think I might go on GameFAQs and look for a speed playthrough or something, because I really just do not have the patience for this shit. I'm not reading through anything. I'm not trying to understand the story. I'm just commenting and getting through the game as fast as fucking possible. So I might as well take this time to explain my biggest problems with the battle system of Final Fantasy XIII. Now the battle system, I've heard that Square Enix was really trying to reinvent the Final Fantasy franchise with Final Fantasy XIII being kind of the symbol of this kind of reinvention, this recreation. But I think they didn't do a very good job of it, and the battle system is where it really falls apart. First of all, auto battle. What the fuck is auto battle? What are you trying to do? Take us out of the game completely? I mean, you do auto battle. You have auto battle. It's a system where basically the game chooses inputs for you. And essentially what this does is it just makes you realize how boring the game is. Because when you think about it, more complex systems should take you out of the game even more, because they force you to think too much. And it's like, why am I doing this? This is insane busy work. I'm just going from menu to menu to menu to menu to menu to menu, and it's ridiculous. I feel so overwhelmed. I can't take this. But in this game, the battle system is so simple, because most of the time you're just pressing auto battle, and then the paradigm system serves more to limit that. Even that makes it even more simple, and so oversimplified that you're just completely taken out of the battle. Even the most cinematic battles, Final Fantasy XIII and 2 has pretty much the same system, albeit with a bit of the lag taken out. But even with the most cinematic battles in Final Fantasy XIII and 2, from the beginning of the game, you can watch them and say, wow, that looks really cool. But when you're playing the game, you're just watching, like, you just want to watch the battle, and it's like, okay, why is this a game? Because it's not. I'm just pressing X. I might as well just be watching a fucking DVD or a Blu-ray since this is on PS3. So yeah, auto battle is just a terrible battle system. It takes you out completely. Second problem with the battle system is the stagger gauge. Now I really want to like the stagger gauge a lot, because I think I get the idea. You're trying to make battles easier as you go along. So What I like about it is that as you go along in the battle, the longer you spend in the battle, the more damage you do to an enemy. The more you attack an enemy, the more damage you do over time. Which is nice. It's nice in that respect. However, the stagger gauge, my biggest problem with it is that it just becomes too necessary. And what I mean by that is, for most of the battles in the game, you can't get through the game without using the stagger gauge. You can't get through, and you have to use it 2-3 times a battle. You can't just do it once and the enemy dies. No, you have to use it 2-3 times in a battle, and it's kind of annoying. It's like, why am I filling up this totally unrelated gauge just to defeat an enemy? Whatever happened to using strategies to take the enemy's health down? That's what it should be about. Now it's more so about filling the stagger gauge, because the enemies have literally tens of thousands of HP. And some of the later enemies, a lot of the later bosses have millions of HP. No joke. Fucking millions of HP. You can't be expected to just take down their HP. You have to fill their stagger gauge to beat them. And it's really just absurd. It's obnoxious and it's absurd that the stagger gauge is such a necessity in that respect. Because I don't know of any game, literally, even if you use the stagger gauge, it will take 30 minutes at least to beat some of these bosses. And not using stagger gauge, you can forget it. You just might as well write your will, because you're not going to be done playing this game at all during your lifetime. You will be fighting some of these battles, if you do not use the stagger gauge, at least an hour. And I'm estimating on that, but I'm saying at least an hour to an hour and a half. It is that ridiculous. So my third issue is that you can only control the party leader, meaning you can only control one character in a battle. And the problem with that is that it's just so stupid. What sense does that make? Why can you only control one character when in any other RPG that I can think of, I can control every character? Maybe not at the same time. Maybe not in action RPGs like Kingdom Hearts. But in other RPGs, I could still control other characters. Like Final Fantasy IX had an ATB system, and I could still control every single one of the characters because they had a speed stat and they didn't all get their thing at once. And I can also switch between the characters, but I didn't feel like it being one person's turn. I could switch it to the next person so they can move first. It really doesn't make sense. Like Final Fantasy XII as well was way more active. The battle, you literally have to move around the battle map and or the world map actually, and fight enemies, and you can still command everyone. Why is it that in this game you're not even moving the characters around? Sure, they move around on their own, just like in Final Fantasy X too, wink wink, but you can't control everyone. What's up with that? Final Fantasy X too, you had this similar ATB system to Final Fantasy XIII. In fact, I would argue that Final Fantasy XIII battle system in its entirety, including the paradigm system, the ATB system, pretty much everything about it is ripping off of. It's a more simplified version of Final Fantasy X-2's battle system, because really, it's not original. It's really not. And the only thing is, you can control one party member only at any given time, and it's kind of like that in itself isn't a huge problem. I mean, I have an issue with it. Like Final Fantasy X-2 again is almost the same exact thing, and yet I can still control everyone that I wanted. But that's, again, not in itself not a huge problem. I didn't really feel too overwhelmed with Final Fantasy X-2's battle system. Maybe they thought people would be overwhelmed with this one. I don't know. But the bigger problem is that when the arbitrarily designated party leader dies, it's game over. And that means that even if the enemy uses some crazy move and just happens to hit you with it, if you get jumped by every single enemy, if there's like 5 enemies and they all happen to attack you at once, which cannot be avoided, by the way, if they happen to be the party leader, if they happen to attack the party leader, then it's game over, and there's really nothing you can do about it. You just have to retry the battle and hope it doesn't happen again. So, why does this happen? Why does it matter if the party leader dies? Does the party leader issue commands to the rest of the party? No, they do not. He or she does not, because many times I have the other party members in their assigned roles, and they're still not using the moves I want them to. For example, if there are many enemies all together, and I know Saj, for instance, has Faraga or something, he doesn't use Faraga. He uses some other weak move. He uses fire, 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 and chains that together rather than just using Faraga. Why? I'm not telling you to do that. Why is it that a saboteur stops attacking when the enemy already has a status ailment on it that they're trying to cast? I'm not telling you to stop attacking. You're not attacking because you want to. If I'm the party leader and I'm of any significance at all, I should be telling you what to do, or at least kind of hinting at it what you should do. And half of the time, the party leader is just arbitrary. It's just like some random character that you have to control. So why does it matter if the party leader dies at all? Why can't they just use a Phoenix down, you know? Because I can use a Phoenix down on other party members, and they come up pretty nicely. Like, they just come right up, and they're ready to fight again. Or better yet, why don't they just go on without me? It's not like they really need me to win this battle. They can just go on without me and finish the battle without me. I know in many other RPGs, freaking Pokemon, Final Fantasy IX, Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy X-2, Dragon Age, Mass Effect, I had to go on without many of my other party members. I would be left with one party member. I would be stuck, and I would just have to go on because there's nothing else I can do. I know in Mass Effect, if Shepard died, it was game over. But all the other games I mentioned, if the person I deemed to be the party leader died, then it would just be game over. I mean, it wouldn't be game over. I would have to go on. And sometimes I could win battles with just one party member who may not be the quote-unquote party leader. So why does this game have to limit the player so much in that respect? It just doesn't seem fair to the player, and it doesn't seem necessary. All it would take is a simple switch. I really liked in Final Fantasy X, where you can switch party members in the heat of the battle. And seamlessly, too. You switch a party member and bam, they can go ahead and attack. They can go ahead and use an overdrive. In Final Fantasy in Final Fantasy XII, when your entire party died, you can switch to your reserve party. So even when your entire party died, it was still not game over. That is helping the player out. That is giving the player a second chance at a battle. And you know what? It makes a game a lot better when you do that. Because I don't know of any player that likes to lose. And giving the player a second chance, it's not making the game too easy, but it's making the game more fair. Because you're already up against really unfair odds. If there's anything in this game that makes me want to rip out my own intestines and use them to hang myself, it's the battle system.